In our previous video, we've already worked with simple chains, connecting multiple steps together, where the output of one step becomes the input for the next. Now we'll talk about a concept a bit deeper and talk about why chains are so useful and how we can make them more powerful using something called sequential chains. The biggest advantage of using chains is that they help us organize complex AI workflows into smaller logical steps. So instead of sending one massive prompt and hoping the model handles everything correctly, we break the process down. Maybe first generate something, then summarize it, and then finally maybe analyze it. This modular structure makes our workflow much more cleaner, more reusable, and then easier to debug. So if one part of the chain isn't doing well, we can just improve that step without touching the rest. So it's a very practical way to scale our AI projects. Now let's talk about sequential chains, which is one of the most useful type of chains in LangChain. So sequential chains work in a step-by-step manner. The output from one stage is automatically passed to the next stage in order. So think of it like an assembly line. So each component in the chain has a specific role and together they create a complete workflow. So for example, step one could generate a detailed article, step two could summarize it into a few sentences, and then step three could maybe extract keywords or insights from that summary. The entire process runs very smoothly with data flowing automatically between steps. So now what's great about sequential chains is that they makes complex reasoning tasks easier to redesign and control. So we can exactly fix what happens at each stage and then how information moves between them. And since everything is modular, we can mix and match our components, change a prompt, switch a model, or maybe add a new processing step, all without rewriting the entire pipeline. So in this video, we'll actually implement a sequential chain and see how it helps us combine multiple prompts and models into one connected process. And by the end of this video, you will be able to understand not how just to build one or not just how to build one, but also why sequential chaining is one of the most powerful ideas in LangChain for creating intelligent and multi-step AI applications. So now let's go to the code. So I'm going to create a new folder here called it's folder number 5 called chains, and inside this chain I'm going to create my first chain called sequential chain dot py. Okay, so again, first of all, we'll have a model, then a .env, then we're going to use our prompt template. So that is going to come from LangChain core. And then we'll also use this str output parser that we've already used earlier too. And then that is also going to come from LangChain core. Load our credentials, define our model. Now I'm going to provide two templates. The first template will be a prompt template. We've done a similar example earlier too, but I'm going to use it anyway here. So generate three detailed report on a topic. I'm also going to use my input variables. My input variables will be a topic. So this is going to be my first prompt that will be generated from prompt template. The next will be another prompt that says generate a three-point summary on following text, and then I'll provide a text here. So my input variables is going to be a text, and then I already have a model, so I'll define my parser, which will be from str output parser, and then I'll define a chain, which is a sequential chain here. So first of all, I'll go to prompt one, then I'll call the model, then I'll go to parser, and then I'll go to prompt2, and then I'll again call a model, and then I'll go to parser again. And finally, I'll invoke this chain and then store the output in the result. So chain.invoke, I'll define an entry point for this chain, which is topic. So my topic is going to be 3i interstellar. Okay, 3i atlas interstellar object, which is quite in news these days. So I'm going to use this topic, and then I'll just print out the result. So this here is a sequential chain here. So let me run this, and while this is being run, I'll try to explain you what's happening here. Okay, something's wrong. This is model name. So let me run this again. So we have our model. The first prompt is generated from this prompt template. The second prompt is generated from this prompt template. So based on the first prompt, which is passed to the model, and then the output is passed through the string output parser, which means the entire output will be converted to string, and then that particular output will be passed to this text here using prompt2 and the model, and then the output will be passed again by str output parser, and then finally be printed here. So it might take some time to run because we've called multiple models here. So let's see the output. Okay, we have a 3-point summary about 3i atlas. So the first point is provided here, the second point is here, and the third point is here. The content is not that important right now. I just wanted to show you the implementation of chains here. Okay, so this is all for this video. I hope you understood the concept. If you have any queries, feel free to comment down below and I'll try to help you out. I'll see you in the next video.